Not sure if this is live just yet. Still appearing on my screen. Ah, okay, there we go. There we go. Let me post on Instagram real quick. Welcome everybody to the live stream. If you're watching this later, definitely check us out on Instagram. At the _off_hand. I'm gonna post there right now to say that we are live. Give me one moment to do that. My phone is a little slow, and I have to find the thing. Hello, Chayev. Hello, KK. Poor Chayev just saying. Appreciate you guys being here. Hansel will be here shortly. Alright, so there's been a lot going on in the NBA today. It's been pretty wild, to say the least. In the last, it's 110. So the last maybe hour, more or less, there's been 3 trades, all pretty much revolving around the same team, which is pretty incredible. I'm trying to arrange my tabs here so I can see the chat while I look stuff up at the same time. So yeah, the Magic have been very busy in getting rid of their players. That's been really funny. So Aaron Gordon, now a Denver Nugget. That trade was for Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a first-round pick. I'll look in a little bit later, maybe when Hansel gets here, we can go into more of basically everything the Magic have done, and look into those picks a little bit more. Nikola Vucevic has been traded also. He was the center for the Orlando Magic. He's now a Chicago Bull. Him and his buddy Al-Farouq Aminu were traded to Chicago for Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., and 2 firsts. That's a pretty fair package, I feel like. And then you also have Evan Fournier to the Celtics. He was like the shooting guard, small forward for the Orlando Magic. He got traded to the Celtics for 2 second-round picks. I'm gonna look more into that later because that just doesn't even sound right to me. I'm not even a big Evan Fournier fan, but I feel like 2 second-round picks is really undervalued. He's not a big-time guy, but I'm gonna put up Basketball Reference real quick. He's not like a big-time dude, I wouldn't say that, but he's definitely more valuable than two second-round picks. If you're not too into basketball, 2 second-round picks are not, they don't really mean much. They're kind of very whatever. There's not much value in them. Evan Fournier, I just want to see what he's averaging, because I think he's averaging, I want to say 19 points per game. Yeah, he's averaging 19.7 points per game, 3 rebounds, and almost 4 assists. That is not a bad basketball player, ladies and gentlemen. He's also playing for 30 minutes a game. So, not bad at all. So, that's going to help the Celtics a lot. We're going to go more into this. I'll go into a little bit more in a little bit. I kind of just want to recite all the trades that have already happened. So you have also JaVale McGee to the Nuggets. If I remember correctly, that was 2 second-round picks as well. So basically saying that JaVale McGee is worth the same as Evan Fournier. I don't know if I'm still here. It's buffering now. My computer is lagging a little bit. I hope everything's okay with the stream. I'm a little scared. I don't know if Chayev or KK could let me know if the stream is good right now. If it's not laggy or anything, everything's pretty fluid. I just want to make sure. There's also one big trade that happened too was Norman Powell to the Trailblazers for Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood. Norman Powell's a shooting guard, small forward. Thank you, Chaya. We're good. Awesome. Glad to hear. Norman Powell is a shooting guard. I don't think he really plays the one. I know he's a pretty decent ball handler. I don't think he plays the one. I think he's more considered a two than anything. The shooting guard. He got traded to the Trailblazers for Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood. That is a really big move in helping their backcourt over there with the Trailblazers, because it's really just Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, 50-foot cliff. Then it's Anthony Simmons, the dunk contest champion. Shouldn't have won it, in my opinion. I thought he was pretty sorry. I thought those dunks were whatever. Even the kiss, that was a weird dunk. Not a big fan. But yeah, so bringing in Norman Powell for that backcourt really helps. They probably should have gone. I know there's a lot of chatter of possibly the Trailblazers getting Aaron Gordon, but I guess they just couldn't get a package together that was good enough. So that really stinks for them, because that would have been huge if the Trailblazers could have picked him up. That's what's up, Matt. Appreciate you being here. You also have George Hill to the Sixers. I haven't looked into the details for that yet, but I can't imagine that's a very big package. But that should help the Sixers pretty much. I don't know how to really pronounce his name. The Heat got... This is a weird name. Nemanja Bjelica? Bjelica? Something like that. Ugly yellow Heat jerseys. KK, we're not going to talk about the ugly yellow Heat jerseys for the reason you have stated. They are ugly. They're not good looking jerseys whatsoever. However, we will talk about the Heat, because the Heat have actually had a lot of chatter, and they're going after a few people. They go after a lot of people, pretty much anyone that is in the rumor mill the Heat are going after. But there's been a lot of talk about Kyle Lowry possibly being traded to the Heat. As I say that, I'm going to check my phone just to make sure a trade has not happened already, because that would be not great. No. Okay, there's not another trade. I was scared for a second. I don't know what that is. I think that has something to do with March Madness. Finalizing. Yeah. Now I need to swipe some of these notifications away so I don't get confused. But yeah. Talk about the new Fortnite season. I don't even play Fortnite, my guy. This is for basketball. Yay, anybody who gets traded would be so lucky to play with Duncan Robinson. KK, Duncan Robinson might get traded. I'm sorry to tell you that. That's... If the Heat make a trade for a big guy like Kyle Lowry, like I'm saying, or like LaMarcus Aldridge, another person they're pursuing. I think I heard that they're also going after Lonzo Ball. They were in talks for Norman Powell. Obviously, the Trailblazers have him now, but it's very high likelihood that Duncan Robinson, he would get traded if the Heat go for a big trade. He's not on the trade block, but he is the guy that would make things work. Please don't tell me those tears are threatening to spill. Oh God, I'm sorry, KK. He's a great player though. He's a great player, and that's why. He's a young dude. I think he's about 27, so he's hitting his prime. He's a tall guy. I don't want to say his height because I feel like I'm going to be wrong, but I want to say it's in the neighborhood of like 6'8". I could be very wrong with that. He's a great three-point shooter, one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Last year, I think he shot almost, 44%, 45. It was super high three-point percentage. And this year he's struggling a little bit, but he still a great shooter, still at a very high volume. So any team would be lucky to have him as a shooter. But with that, I hope that the Celtics get him, if anything, because they're my second favorite team. I don't think the Celtics would go for him. The Celtics need more playmaking. They don't really need shooting. They need either playmaking at the guard position, or they just need a big, like an actual big, a guy that is over 6'8", because I think Daniel Tice is like 6'8". Robert Williams, I think, is also like 6'8", more or less. So they don't have anyone that can really rebound or defend that big position. It really is a team effort. So they really needed to go after someone on the bigger side. So I don't think Duncan Robinson would help them. But Duncan Robinson is also in the last year of his contract. And shooters get the bag. Shooters get the bag, man. He's probably going to get a pretty decent deal. And that's kind of why I think Miami's putting them in a lot of these trade packages, because he is a very high-valued guy. However, I don't think they want to pay him. So if they can get out of that situation and get a guy like Kyle Lowry, LaMarcus Aldridge, maybe even Lonzo, that puts them in a better position to winning sooner, the Heat are going to do that. And I don't really blame them for it. I think it's a good decision for them to go out and do that. However, the person they did pick up, Nemanja Bjelica, whatever, he's from the Kings. I'm pretty sure he's a power forward. I'm not too familiar with him, to be honest. I'm not really a huge guy on him. I'm pretty sure he's a good shooter, if I'm not mistaken. Not too athletic of a guy. So he's just really going to be a dude that spaces the floor, probably comes off the bench. Try to get a couple boards here and there. Not a very big acquisition, so I can't imagine they gave up too much for him. I'm going to see if I can look up really quick what the Heat gave up for him. Because crap, man, I'm still stuck in the Evan Fournier trade. I can't believe they only got him for 2 second-round picks. And that's the thing, like how I was saying, actually, let me get into that. That's probably a little bit better as I look into this. So the Celtics did go for Evan Fournier. And Evan Fournier is a shooting guard, like I said. He's averaging about 20 points per game. I need to write down this name. Bjelica? Miami Heat. Averaging about 20 points per game. He's not a ball handler. He is a shooter, primarily at the guard position. So it is a little bit of a weird move. I don't fully get it. That's a lot of shooting guards to have with Jaylen Brown, and you might consider him a 3. I consider him more of a 2. But Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, I wouldn't consider Marcus Smart a 1. Even though he's a decent playmaker, I believe, I still wouldn't really consider him at the 1. I like him more at the 2. So bringing in Fournier, he was a 2 or a 3. I guess they just want a 6th man. I got them come off the bench and give them points when Fournier, Smart, and Tatum aren't in the game. So I guess he's just going to be a bench guy. Maybe that'll help him be more efficient. He's a pretty efficient dude already. I think I saw his stats up here. Tina's saying to load in. I'm pretty sure he's pretty consistent player. Yeah, he's averaging 38.8% from 3, 46% from the fields. Yeah, he's going to be really good for them as just a spark player, I guess, off the bench when the big 2 isn't playing. I don't think he's much of a defender. I don't think he's terrible, but he's definitely... You definitely don't want him to cover somebody that's above average. I think that's a good way to phrase it. I don't think you want him covering somebody that is an above average player, because then he might get smoked. So that's probably not a good move for him. Okay, so the Heat traded, looks like here, Harkless and Silva. Mo Harkless and Silva. That's not too bad. That's an upgrade, but I wouldn't really consider that. Yeah, they didn't really lose anything. I don't know why the Kings made that move, because Mo Harkless is a small forward, I think, / power forward. Silva is a pretty young player. I'm pretty sure he went undrafted. I think he went undrafted. I'm not sure if he was a rookie this past season or the season before, but he's a young dude. He's a very young dude out of South Carolina, I'm pretty sure. He's just an aggressive big man, big hustler. I don't know if maybe that's a sign that the Kings are trying to move away from Marvin Bagley, their center over there. There's been a lot of rumors about Marvin Bagley not even wanting to be with the Sacramento Kings. And the Sacramento Kings have not been great. I'm not going to lie to you people. Sacramento Kings are not an amazing franchise. They are historically, as the kids would say, terrible. but look like they're doing better. Looking like they're doing a little bit better. So I'm a big fan of Tyrese Halliburton. I really like De'Aaron Fox. So that backcourt is going to be really good. I like Buddy Hield a lot. Sadly, he doesn't want to be there. So I don't know how that's going to work. I like Rashawn Holmes a lot. He's a really good center for them as well. I'm just trying to see if there's any picks involved here in this trade that I was talking about with the Heat. No, they're not. But yeah, Marvin Bagley might get moved either at this deadline or maybe free agency, get close to the draft. I don't know what the Kings really want. I think, if I remember correctly, the Kings just have a bunch of guards. They have a lot of guards and they have a lot of centers. They don't have a lot of small forwards, wings. They have Harrison Barnes, who can kind of float as a small forward and a power forward. But I think he initially plays the 4. So maybe that's why they got Mo Harkless. But I don't even think Mo Harkless really got minutes for the Heat. So a little bit of a weird move. But it is what it is, I guess. I really want to save this Vucevic trade to do with Hansel, because I think that'd be a fun one. Is the stream looking good for you guys? I'm getting kind of a message saying that it might be messed up. So if someone could just let me know in the chat if it's looking all right, I'd appreciate it. This is only the second time we've done a stream on the offhand, so I'm hoping that that everything's okay. Everything's looking good. I haven't done too many of these. We might do another one for the NFL draft for the first round of it, so definitely check that out if you're into football. Mark it on your calendars. We're gonna do it that night, live stream the first round, give our thoughts pick by pick. Probably the NBA draft too, but that's not gonna be for a while. That's gonna be in the summer. The NFL draft's next month. Probably gonna have a lot more NFL draft videos on the channel, weekly videos. So if you're into that, subscribe for sure. It looks fine on mobile devices, but I put on the TV and it's super duper laggy. No, don't tell me that, KK. Don't tell me that. Dang, guys. All right, I'm gonna have to get rid of Spotify. I had some music in the background. I hope you guys heard it. I hope you guys liked it, but I think I'm gonna have to take that off. My computer doesn't have a lot of RAM, and I think that is causing the problem. So I'm gonna get rid of Spotify. Hopefully in a couple of minutes it clears up and that solves the problem. Let me know, KK, in a couple of minutes if it gets any better. All right, yeah. So I don't really want to talk about any of the big trades just yet. I'm gonna wait for Hanso for that. Let me check my phone again. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. No, I have not. Kings are falling in. Nope, that was the deal for that. Singer Harris. Yep, got that one. Yep. All right, I think we're looking okay, guys. I honestly thought not free agency, I'm thinking of the NFL. I honestly thought the trade deadline was going to be like really quiet. I didn't think a lot of trades would happen, to be honest. I thought maybe only like 3 or 4 trades would happen, but a really jam-packed hour. Really jam-packed hour. If you don't know, the trade deadline for the NBA is 3 p.m. today. So everyone's trying to get last minute trades in. A lot of conversations between GMs. So we're trying to cover that live as trades happen. We missed a couple of these, but it's okay. It's all right. Had a couple technical difficulties. Had to start a little later than 1, but we're good. Okay, does it look any better? Wait, now on my phone the video's laggy, but the sound is perfect. Oh boy. Oh man, hopefully it gets better. There's not much I can really do on my end, I think. I don't think I can do too much on my end. Maybe, yeah, I'll try to put this over here. so that way that tab is together more. Oh boy. I might have just lost y'all. Oh no, we're good. Yeah, I might have to live stream on a different computer the next time we do this. This is struggling a little bit. Stream status poor. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Is there anything I can do to make this better? What's up, Christian? Welcome to the stream. Glad you could show up, man. Appreciate it. Right now, trying to figure out if I can make this a little bit smoother. As YouTube is telling me, my stream health is poor. Apparently, you guys can hear me pretty well, but the stream itself is laggy. I don't think there's anything I can really do. See, maybe I close that. See if maybe that helps. I think I am. I think it's just my computer's not that great. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna have to use a different computer. I'm gonna have to use my editing computer to do this. I'm using my personal computer right now. So I might have to fix that next time. 'Cause I don't want to end the stream right away. Things are good on your end. A new challenge has arrived. Alright, then maybe it's just staying it for now. Hopefully it clears up and it says it's kind of better. So we'll just keep talking. See if I can move this back over then, so that way I can see the chat. Yeah, next time I'm definitely gonna use the other computer. Yeah. It's like a reunion now. It does. So I'll wait for Hansel for the Norman Powell trade and the Vucevic trade and the Aaron Gordon trades. I feel like those are really big. It's going to be really big helps for the Chicago Bulls. It's really interesting because I'll talk a little bit about it now. Let's get to your computer is going to make things worse. Well, it's running through my computer, so his computer won't affect anything of what happens here. It's all running through my computer. So that's the, I guess, good thing. Yeah, but I'm actually on my way for some more stand-ups. Just want to show my support. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. No worries. You popping in helps. So yeah, so the Magic traded pretty much their best three players. Top 3 out of their 4. Jonathan Isaac is arguably their second best player than Aaron Gordon. But Vucevic and Alfred Camino to the Bulls is really weird for the Bulls. I guess that means if they're getting rid of Wendell Carter Jr., makes me feel like they are more sold on Lauri Markkanen then. I will get that bread. Don't you worry about it. I will get that bread. Thank you. Bye, Christian. Yeah, but it's really weird for Wendell Carter Jr. to be traded like that. He's a really good young guy. I don't think he was the same after he had an injury. I don't remember what the injury was exactly. I don't remember. I think it was something with the shoulder. I don't think it was something leg related. He's a pretty good young big man if I remember. I don't watch too many Bulls games, so I can't really say. But I guess they don't want Wendell Carter Jr. anymore, and they're more sold on Lauri Markkanen, so you probably expect Lauri Markkanen to re-sign his contract. So that's pretty great. I like Lauri Markkanen a lot. I think he's a pretty good power forward. He's a power forward that can really stretch the floor. He's not great on defense, which sucks, but he is really good on offense. He can shoot from anywhere on the court, anywhere on the floor. I think he has a pretty decent face-up game when it comes to down low. So that's good. He's a decent rebounder. Let me see if I can look up his stats real quick, just to have it in my head. Otto Porter Jr., I think was just a salary dump. I don't think the Magic really wanted him. I think it was just kind of make contracts work since Vucevic does have a big contract. It's gonna work for me. A little bit of lag. Oh boy. I like Lauri Markkanen a lot. He's a pretty decent power forward. He's also really young. He's on his last contract. Oh boy, he is on his last contract. Last year of his contract rather. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they resign him. See how much money they're gonna resign him for if they do. Because like I said, he's young and he's talented, so he's probably gonna fetch a pretty penny. He's gonna fetch a pretty penny. There we go. Took me a second, but I got it. And two firsts, which could be really valuable for the Magic. I imagine that's why they really wanted that for. I'm kind of surprised with the trade that they got rid of Aaron Gordon, Vucevic, Evan Fournier, and they got back Gary Harris, which is really just a salary match. He's not that good, in my opinion, not that good anymore. I used to really like him, but he's kind of fell off. RJ Hampton, unproven young guy. He's a rookie. Wendell Carter Jr. is probably the best player that they acquired in all this. Evan Porter Jr. And then they got 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. And I want to be honest, the Magic are really good at drafting guys. But they don't know how to use them. Hence the reason why they just traded 3 guys from their team. So I don't know how much confidence they really have in themselves to build up a new team, because this team was technically in a rebuild / competitive mentality, where now I think they're in a full-on rebuild, looking to develop. They're really gonna fall off and lose a lot of games. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're gonna lose a lot of games starting tomorrow. It's gonna be really ugly really fast. So that is not good. George Hill to the Sixers was another trade that happened. And I kind of like that trade. George Hill is from Oklahoma City Thunder. He's a point guard. I don't know how much he's done over there, but I know his track history is pretty good. He's a pretty solid player. He just gives them another playmaker that isn't Ben Simmons or Tyrese Maxey, so that really helps, gives them a little more shooting. That was probably the spot they needed the most help at, I think, is that guard spot. So bringing in a vet like George Hill is a really, really good move. Let me look up just to see, though, what they had to give up, because I didn't have that in front of me. George Hill, so there's picks involved. Ooh, the Los Angeles Clippers are now in talks for Kyle Lowry. So you have the 76ers. Like I said, they want another guard, and Kyle Lowry, being a Philly kid, went to Villanova in Philly, is going to be huge. So if he could go there, it'd be great. But also the Lakers were interested in him, and it seems like the Clippers are also interested in him. So that's pretty intriguing. Terrence Ross posted a meme apparently after Vucevic, Fournier, and Gordon. If I had to make a bet, the bet would be that it's the Will Smith meme of him being alone in a room looking around. I imagine that's the meme he posted, and he is right to feel that way. He is very right to feel that way. Senator Philly. Yep. Okay, so that trade with George Hill, it was a 3-team trade between the Sixers, the Knicks, and the Thunder. Philly gets George Hill. The New York Knicks get Terrence Ferguson. That's pretty good. And OKC gets Austin Rivers from New York and Tony Bradley. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't remember where Tony Bradley is from. Which team? I would assume Philly. And then 2 second rounds. It doesn't specify here which those picks are from. However, OKC does have, this is from Bleacher Report, Bleacher Report from ESPN, that OKC now has 17 first-round picks and 17 second-round picks over the next 7 years. That is so many picks. That is so many picks. What the heck? A lot of that came from the haul of the Paul George trade, and I believe also the Russell Westbrook trade. I believe they also got a bunch of first round picks in those trades. So OKC really is just building for the future, man. They're just looking to build around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. He's a young player. I think he was a rookie 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago he was a rookie. 2 years ago maybe. I really like the guy. I can't remember. Either 2 or 3 years ago. He's a really young dude. Really, really young dude. So they're trying to build around him. He's a shooting guard, point guard, really lanky dude, great shooter, great playmaker. A lot of people argue that he could have been an all-star this year, so that really tells you how good he is. I'm trying to think who else they have on that team to build around, because that's kind of the problem. Oh, the boy Lou Dort. He's the Harden Slayer, I guess. He's a really good defender. He's starting to come into his own a little bit more offensively, which is really great. Finally, YouTube says I have excellent connection, so you guys can see me better now, hear me better now, everything's better. Please let me know in the chat. But yes, that's really to Lou Dort, him, and they have this guy called Pokuševski that they drafted that they got this last draft. He's 7 foot something, I think, but he's like 180, 190. He's super skinny, super skinny dude. I don't think he's actually 190. He has to be 2+. But he's a super skinny dude. He's a really flashy passer, which sounds weird to say for a guy that's 7 feet tall. But he is. He's also a pretty decent scorer, but nothing amazing. I say that with him, kind of a guy you want coming off the bench right now. But so a couple podcasts I've listened to. I listened to a lot of the Ringer Network, specifically The Mismatch with Kevin O'Connor and Chris Vernon. Really great podcast. You guys should definitely listen to them. But they were talking about Poku, as his nickname. Pokuševski, call him Poku. Kevin O'Connor's really high on him. It's not perfect, but better. When he first started, it was flawless. I don't know what happened, man. I really wish I did. I really wish I knew. So we just gotta hope and pray things get better, I guess. But Kevin really likes Poku, and he thinks he could be a pretty decent player. But both those guys kind of agreed that he probably has, I think the quote is, the highest disparity between his ceiling and his floor than anyone in the league. And essentially what they mean by that is that he could be like an all-star type of guy, or he could be a dude that basically gets ran out of the league as a young player. So somebody to watch, see if OKC does put in the time to actually go and develop him. We'll see what happens there. But them having 17 first-round picks really shows that they care way more about just drafting talent. And out of anybody in the league, I would trust OKC. In case you need a reminder on their resume of drafting, they have SGA of recent. They have Lou Dort of recent. They also had a couple guys that I don't know if you heard of. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and this pretty good guy named James Harden. So, also this guy named Serge Ibaka, who's pretty okay. So they have a really good draft history. So if any team had this essentially war chest of draft picks and could make something of it, it would be the Oklahoma City Thunder ran by Sam Presti. The guy knows how to draft and find talent wherever in the draft. So yeah, that's going to be really, really fun to see. I was not expecting to talk about the Thunder today, I'll be honest. But I'm glad I did. It's a fun team. It's a really fun team. Let me just double check again. I keep checking my phone because I don't want to miss a trade that just happens in a moment. Things are probably going to slow down, and it's probably going to be a lot of reflections from this point on. I can't imagine. It'd be really cool if a last second trade happens where you have like Victor Oladipo, who's been in a lot of trade rumors, to like the Warriors. That'd be something crazy for Kelly Oubre, who's also been in a lot of trade rumors. Um, I don't know if I'm in the minority for this, but I really like Kelly Oubre, and I think he's a really good player. I think he was just learning the system. We actually posted a video. Me and Hansel did a video a couple weeks ago talking about some trades that we thought would be really fun. Just to talk about. It'd be really cool to see. So if you guys want to check that out, go for it and you hear more in depth about it. But I talked about a possible trade for Victor Oladipo going to the Warriors for Kelly Oubre and how that would affect it. And essentially, Victor Oladipo being kind of like an insurance policy for the Warriors with Clay, and then Kelly Oubre just fitting in flawlessly. I think with what I shouldn't say what Houston's trying to do because I don't even think Houston knows what they're trying to do. Like honestly, I think I really don't like the owner over there. Daryl Morey is no longer the GM over there. I feel really bad for Steven Silas. I remember the name now. Steven Silas. I feel really bad for him because I think he'd be a really decent head coach. But can you imagine what he just went through this season? Before the season started, he signed up for James Harden, Russell Westbrook, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, and Christian Wood, and DeMarcus Cousins. That's the team he signed up for and run. Within the first 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure, first 2 or 3 weeks, you had Russell Westbrook out the door, you had James Harden out the door, and then just maybe a month or two ago, something like that, DeMarcus Cousins, they waived DeMarcus Cousins, or they released DeMarcus Cousins, I believe was the terminology. They released DeMarcus Cousins, and Christian Wood's been injured. Christian Wood was injured for a while. He's back now. John Wall was doing okay for the most part. Victor Oladipo was doing okay, but I think he got injured or got COVID or something. And they were really good in the beginning when they lost Harden and Westbrook, especially on defense too. And defense were really good, which was surprising. But then just as time went on, no one wanted to be there, I guess, anymore. And it just got really ugly for them. And they went on, I think it was a 20 game losing streak, which is ridiculous. I think the record is 26 game losing streak or something like that. So they were flirting with it, but they won the other day. So I don't know what the Rockets are trying to do, but Kelly Oubre would help, I think. He at least gives him a 3. Now that they don't have PJ Tucker there, so they could put in Kelly Oubre as a 3 or a 4, given Tucker played the 4 and the 5, even though he is 6'5". 6'5", playing center, covering centers that are 7 feet tall. I'm very against small ball. I'm very against small ball. If you guys want to know a little bit about me, I'm very against small ball. I would say I like big ball. I guess that's the way you could phrase it, but I don't like bully ball. And it sounds really stupid to say. I'm not fully sure those are all right ways to phrase it, but I think if you know basketball, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Because when I say big ball, I like the idea of small ball, but I like it done with your players. So with PJ Tucker, I would not run him at a 5. He's 6'5". I would probably play him at the most the 3. However, he doesn't really have great necessarily. I don't think he has really good playmaking abilities. So I'd probably put him at the 3 just because of his size and what he can do defensively. He'd be really good there as well as a 3-point shooter. And it'd be a little bit more in his wheelhouse, I think, than going against centers every night. The man's also 37 years old. I don't want him covering Joel Embiid. I'm sorry. I like him covering the 3. I think he could cover. I'd rather him cover someone like Kawhi, or even someone like James Harden, than cover someone like Joel Embiid, who I think could just bully his way into the paint against them in a one-on-one matchup. But now PJ Tucker is on the Bucks. That is another trade that happened about a week ago, so my tangent was not for nothing. PJ Tucker went to the Bucks. They didn't give up too much for him, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna look it up actually really quick, just to give you guys the details. I really like PJ Tucker to the Bucks. It really gives them a lot of versatility, especially with their big men. And like I said, I don't like that, but it's how people play PJ Tucker, so that's how I have to cover it. But PJ Tucker, they're probably gonna play him as a 4. Put Giannis at the 5. Maybe have Brook Lopez come off the bench, or vice versa. Have Brook Lopez start at the 5, Giannis at the 4, and then have PJ Tucker come off the bench to relieve one of them. Probably Brook. But then they also have Drew Holiday, who's been hooping, so he's gonna be their primary playmaker. Then you have also Chris Middleton over there. You have DiVincenzo over there. Pretty nice group, and I think a lot of people are really down on the Bucks this season. I don't really know why. You could even argue that Giannis is having a better season than his last 2 MVP seasons. So I'm not gonna put the Bucks down. I'm really not. They also been experimenting a lot this season, from what I've heard. That the reason why they haven't been playing too good, and you can see it when they play, that they're really working on their weaknesses, and they've been doing that this whole stretch, this whole regular season. So obviously, when you're working on your weaknesses and you're putting them at the forefront of your scheme, you're not going to play that great. However, they're still a top 4 seed, I'm pretty sure. I don't want to, because the East has been wild in the standings. So they've been a top 4 seed pretty much this whole season, the Bucks. So even while they're facing their biggest weaknesses offensively and defensively and trying to figure them out before playoffs start, they're still better than most of the teams in the East. So I'd have them going pretty far this year, to be honest. I'd be more confident in them this year than previous years in reality. So going back to that PJ Tucker trade, right? PJ Tucker was traded for DJ Augustine and forward DJ Wilson to the Rockets for Tucker and forward. I don't know how to say this name, guys. I'm gonna be real. Forward Rodins, Kirkus. I think it's Kirkus. That one I think I know his last name. I think it's Kirkus. I don't think Kirkus got any minutes really. DJ Augustine, I know, got a lot of minutes for them as a ball handler, so that's gonna hurt them a little bit, I think. But they've been doing really good with Tucker there. DJ Wilson, I kind of like DJ Wilson. He's gonna be he's a project though. He's a guy that I'm pretty sure can space the floor. I'm pretty sure he's a good 3-point shooter as well. Not like great, but he's serviceable for a big. So that's not a bad trade. That's not a bad trade because the Rockets need bigs. I'm pretty sure the only big they have on the roster is Christian Wood, who is an amazing talent, young dude, could be an all-star one day, but they need more bigs. So I don't understand why they got rid of Boogie, but I guess they just want to separate the dynamic between him and John Wall. Maybe with some locker room things. I don't know. I'm not going to reference that Bleacher Report. You were terrible. But yeah, just out of curiosity, just get a little bit more engagement with you guys. Is there a trade or something in the NBA world that maybe you guys want me to cover a little bit? I'll wait for your response as there is a delay. Trying to see if there's anything else going on. Talk about trade rumors. If you guys want to hear about some trade rumors, I could look at some trade rumors. Talk about maybe some certain players that are out there that are on the market. Hanso should be joining us soon, hopefully. Dang, the Cardinals signed Malcolm Butler. That's a huge trade. Not a huge trade, it's a huge acquisition. That's NFL. Say Jet. Udonis, you did it. It's my favorite parlay line. Next to that, I am a Heat fan, in case you guys don't know. and a Miami Heat fan. So that's probably one of my favorite. What's it called? Calls, I guess. One of my favorite calls. That the Heat announcers have done. Udonis, you did it. When he makes a shot. But the favorite one is definitely the bang by something Breen. I forgot his first name now, but it has to do with the finals. That Ray Allen shot. Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Heat fans know what's up. Heat fans know what's up. San Antonio fans also know what's up. The Raptors reportedly wanted Matisse Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, and 2 first-round picks for Kyle Lowry, but Philly was unwilling to trade Matisse Thybulle. That's really interesting because it makes sense. Matisse Thybulle has to be in that trade. He has to be. Update is now virtually on his way. I don't like that response. I don't like that response at all. I don't like virtually on his way. I feel like the Sixers should have done that trade of Matisse Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, and 2 first-round picks. Because I love Matisse Thybulle. Don't get me wrong. I love Matisse Thybulle. I love Matisse Thybulle coming out of the draft from Washington. I believe it was Washington. Yeah, Washington. I loved him coming out of there. He's a huge. He's a defensive guy. He really fits the 3-and-D mold, especially on defense. Virtually, because this is a virtual live stream. Okay, KK. Matisse Thybulle's a young dude, really talented. I think he has a lot of potential, but I don't think his ceiling. I might have to disagree with the ceiling the 76ers have. How good they think Matisse Thybulle can be. His tardiness and very close to. Do it, KK. Do it. But yeah, I really like Matisse Thybulle, but I don't think he's going to be that great of a player in the NBA. And when I say not that great, I think he's going to be good. I think he's definitely a solidified starter in the league, but I don't think he is. I don't think he's an all-star type of guy. So, and I also kind of. I'm on the mindset of develop. I like to develop guys. I don't like trading for older guys and run the risk of going all in for 1 season, 2 seasons, and then just losing everybody because Kyle Lowry isn't a young guy. He's, I think, 35. I think he's about to turn 35. He's still really good. He probably won't get back for a while, but that window is really small for the 76ers. So, and I don't think Matisse Thybulle, like I said, isn't an all-star caliber player. So because of that, I think you make the trade because is Matisse Thybulle integral to winning you a championship? I think he can be, but not as integral as someone like Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry would definitely put them in a great spot to win a championship. Honestly, this season, like losing Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey does not take them out of contention. But I guess Daryl Morey, he's a great GM. I respect him a lot. Maybe he sees something more in Thybulle that I just don't. But yeah, having a team of Ben Simmons, Kyle Lowry, and Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris. Do not forget about Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris coached by Doc Rivers. That's a hard out, man. I really like the Sixers coming out. You could argue the Brooklyn Nets. And very fair. The firepower the Brooklyn Nets have of Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving is honestly one of the best offensive teams ever put together. So I'd still I think I would take the Sixers over them. Like I said, if you watch the last basketball video we did on the channel last week, I talk about the biggest surprises and biggest disappointments. One of my biggest surprises was the Brooklyn Nets not falling apart. And I think they still could fall apart, to be honest. My hair is being weird here in the middle. Um, I think they still could fall apart, especially in the playoffs when tension gets high. You have a lot of egos on that team, but they all seem to be really close and being really good. So maybe they don't. Maybe they don't fall apart, but I think they do. I think the tension is just too high in the playoffs. You have close teams that will yell at each other, get in each other's faces when push comes to shove. Especially teams that are new and kind of just freshly put together, haven't taken any lumps yet together. We saw it last year, and I referenced it in that video as well. We saw it last year with the Boston Celtics playing against the Heat. The Heat got really under their skin. I think you had either Marcus Smart or Jaylen Brown that was just going off in the locker room, yelling at teammates, and it was just it wasn't necessarily a fight, but it was like a verbal fight from what media members said it sounded like from outside the locker room. And that's a close team. I'd consider that a close team. They've all been together for a couple years now. So this group up in Brooklyn, they might face a lot of adversity in the playoffs, and we'll see if they can get over it. I'm not saying they're going to get bounced in the first round. All right, I'm not crazy. But depending who they face in that second round, depending who they face in the conference finals, it could be bad for them. So I wouldn't see them making the finals. Conference finals is probably the ceiling I'd put them at. And yeah, they make it either to the conference finals or the second round. I don't think I would be floored if they got bounced in the first round, because that means they'd be playing. Shoot, actually, I'm not even gonna say who because I have no idea. But at the end of the season, who's gonna be down there? I have no idea, because I think the Knicks have gotten the 4th seed. They were there for a little bit. The Hawks are now at the 4th seed after they fired their head coach. And they were super far down there. The Celtics, I think, are at the bottom as well, like 6th, 7th seed, something like that. They could possibly even miss the playoffs. So it's like, or end up in the tournament. So it's like, I don't even know who they could face. That is not very clear just yet. But yeah, I'm not big on the Brooklyn Nets. So the Sixers definitely would have a decent shot, I think, especially with Kyle Lowry. As they sit now, not a big fan of it, but it would definitely push them over, I think. Definitely push them over. Lonzo Ball. The Bulls are still in discussion. I'm also getting this from NBA County. Shout out to @NBA County on Instagram. Popped on my feed that I'm looking through just to be aware of what's going on. Pretty good page, to be honest. I like them. If you guys want to follow them, go for it. The Bulls are still in discussions with the Pelicans about Lonzo Ball trade, but the Pels want more. Ooh, they want more than just Lauri Markkanen. Interesting. Lonzo Ball's trade value has shifted like crazy throughout the season. It's been really up and down. It was really down at the beginning, and now it's really up. That's why the Pelicans actually can make that argument of they want more than Lauri Markkanen, because Lauri Markkanen has had a pretty good season, but nothing outstanding. So it makes sense why they'd want more for Lonzo. And Lonzo Ball is a guy I think Lonzo Ball could fit anywhere. I'm really high on Lonzo Ball. I might be in the minority in that. However, I think the narrative of Lonzo Ball has floated with his play. A lot of fair weather opinions, I think, of him. But I always really liked Lonzo Ball. He has definitely fell short of expectations. But he's still a great player. He does everything you want a point guard to do. He's a great passer. He's a great defender. You could argue he's the best defender on the Pelicans. His shot, which is always a concern, is no longer a concern. He's a great shooter now. I think he has what was the crazy stat? I think he has a higher 3-point percentage than Trae Young. I don't know if he still does, but he did have it for a while. So he's been shooting awesome, and he doesn't shoot like 3 threes a game. No, he shoots volume. I'm pretty sure he shoots like 6 threes, something like that. Let's look up Lonzo Ball real quick. Let's look up Lonzo Ball, because I think he's a guy that pretty much every team in the league should be trying to get. Maybe not every team. Let me rephrase that. Like the Orlando Magic should not be going for him. I don't even know who's on their team at this point anymore. And I don't know what they're even trying to achieve necessarily. But any contending team should be going after him. So it's pretty interesting that the Bulls are going after him. The Bulls, I guess, they're trying to make a move. They're just trying to make a big move and get into the playoffs and settle in the playoffs. Because for a while they were kind of floating in that area with the playoff tournament, being at the 10th, being in between the 10th and 8th seed. 10th through 7th seed. But I think they recently got a little bit higher. So now I'm just gonna remember the big names right now because they have Vucevic now and they have Zach LaVine. And if they can get Lonzo, that's a really nice young team. Really, really nice young team to build around. So it could be really, really fun to see how that plays out. Yeah, Lonzo is shooting 38.5 from 3. That is incredible at almost 8 attempts a game. That's just awesome, dude. Averaging almost 6 assists. Averaging a steal, half a block, 14 points per game. That's the one problem. He's not going to get you a lot of buckets. Is Lamello Ball and that other ball guy related? KK, I got some news for you. They are related. They are brothers. Lonzo's the oldest Ball brother. And there's a middle one, LiAngelo, which is kind of I don't want to be too harsh on the guy, but he messed up. He's made a couple mistakes in life. So he's not in the league. And then you have Lamello Ball, who is the youngest Ball brother, and he is the one that is on the Hornets. So they all are related. They're all siblings. They all played in high school together. Had one of the best high school teams in recent history. Because they had so many. There's I think. Well, now there's 2 for sure, but I'm pretty sure there's 3 or 4 guys from that team that are now in the NBA, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, it sucks that Lamello Ball got hurt. He fractured his hand. They're brothers. This is so fun. Yes to me. I am KK. I am saying yes. I'm sorry that it might be taking an extra second for me to respond to you guys. There's a good delay, about I think 15 seconds. I think is what it is. But yeah, they're all related. They all hoop together. I think they had a TV show, not like a real TV show. It was like a Facebook TV show. LeVar for president. I just saw that now. If LeVar was president, that'd be wild. That would be wild. LeVar is a crazy man, but he's never lost. Never lost. Oh yeah, Lamello. I was talking about his hand. Yeah, so excited his hand got fractured. How cute, a family business. Yeah. While in real life with my other husband, Gordon Hayward. I'll make sure not to tell Duncan Robinson. Okay, don't worry. But the Hornets are a good team. The Hornets are a really young, fun team. They have Terry Rozier. They have Lamello Ball, Gordon Hayward, which was a really weird signing at the beginning of the season. Everyone kind of questioned why he went there because Everyone thought the Hornets was hopeless, and for good reason. And you also have PJ. Yeah, it's PJ Washington and Miles Bridges. I don't think he's related to Mikal Bridges, even though they have almost the exact same names. But yeah, it's a really fun group of guys, really young team. Really interesting to see what happens now that they don't have Lamello. See how they deal with everything. Kind of just see what they do and see how Lamello progresses over there. Because I wasn't very high on Lamello coming out of the draft. I'll be honest. I wasn't very high on him. I didn't think he was going to be that great. I thought he maybe be a starter in the league, but I didn't think anything past that really. Everyone's not considering him to be a star. Possibly, I don't know if anyone's considering him to be an all-star, not an all-star, or like an MVP. I don't know if anyone considers him to be or going to be that good, but I do. Now, right now, after seeing him play, I could see him being an all-star for sure. Possibly an all-NBA player, to be honest. But in the beginning, I thought he was just maybe a starter. I didn't like his personality. He had a lot of shooting problems. I didn't think he was that good defensively. I think the only thing I thought he was good at was passing, and that was it. Like I didn't think he was good at any other thing. But he's proved me wrong. He's improved his shot a lot. He's still an excellent passer, excellent passer, and he's learning to use his frame because he's like 6'8". I think he's like 6'8". He's also the tallest Ball brother. He's 6'8" and he plays the point guard position. So if he can get good at defense and really lock in to that category, he could be a really outstanding defender and be able to cover anywhere between 1 and 3, covering point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, and that would make that team 10 times better. Because when your best player can lock up multiple positions, dude, that is a luxury. That's what pushes you over to possibly winning championships. And I'm not saying that the Hornets are going to win a championship. They're probably not. Maybe make an article about it on the offhand's Instagram. Maybe I'll do that one of these days. But in order to win a championship, the NBA, you really got to have a top 5 guy on your team. That's really the only way for you to win a championship. Have a top 5 guy, or have LeBron on your team. That's really it. LeBron's a top 5 guy, but LeBron's
top 1 guy.
I told you to let me know before you came in, clown.
Shh. It's better as a surprise.
No, it's not.
How's the audio bad?
Fix this. The audio's okay.
Is the audio bad? Okay. I got this for $5 at Five Below. So.
Let me see how I can get this to work because you are showing, and I think this is the one I think I need to put up. Yes. Then this one I need to do that. And now, you know what? We're just gonna leave it like this. It's gonna take me a fat minute to fix everything. So I'm just gonna leave it like this, I think, for now.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. If anything, I actually might do a little bit of magic here.
Ooh. The Magic? Is that what we're talking about?
No, we're not talking about Magic. Well, yes, actually, we will be talking about the Magic, the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, and hopefully the Boston Celtics.
No, the Celtics aren't going to do anything.
They want Aaron Gordon?
Aaron Gordon's already gone, my guy.
Oh, really? It already happened?
Yes.
I have not paid attention to that.
Come on.
Yo, hold on. Let me check out Woj real quick.
Woj was the one that said it.
I know. Shh.
I can run you through all the trades. I wrote it all down. Okay. So I don't know if Hansel's appearing on the screen for you guys right now. He should be, I'm pretty sure. Because the screen I see on YouTube is like really far behind, I'm pretty sure. You guys have been pretty responsive for when I talk, so I don't know what's going on there. But yes, this is Hansel. Hansel, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
So, Hansel, I've been wanting to save these trades to talk with you about the Magic trades of
right.
Aaron Gordon to the Denver Nuggets for Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a first round pick. Then you also have Vucevic and Al Farik Aminu to Chicago
Vooch went to Chicago?
for Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., and 2 firsts. And then Evan Fournier was traded to the Celtics for 2 second-round picks.
Wow.
Yeah.
They
The Magic
robbed Fournier.
I think Terrence Ross, I saw got a notification from Bleacher Report saying that Terrence Ross posted a meme on his Instagram describing how he felt. And I'm just assuming that meme is the Will Smith meme of him sitting in a room alone looking around. I'm assuming that's what the meme was.
Terrence Ross gonna be a beast now.
Who?
Terrence Ross gonna be a beast now. He's gonna be the only one with the ball.
Dude, honestly, there's no reason for him to not just go out there and get 20 a night just for fun. For real. There's no reason for him not to.
Oh my gosh, what crazy trade just happened. Wow.
Yeah,
no, that happened a while ago. Went to Portland. That's a great trade too.
Oh, yeah, and if you want me to read you all the trades that have happened so far, you have McGee to the Nuggets as well. You have Norm Powell to the Blazers for Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood. You have George Hill to the Sixers, which was a 3-team trade with George Hill going to the Sixers, Terrence Ferguson going to what was the other team in it? Come on, Andy. The Knicks. Terrence Ferguson going to the Knicks.
Wow.
And then
Austin Rivers going to OKC.
And then OKC had I don't have it written down. Tony Bradley, 2 second-round picks. And what was the other one? Pretty sure I have it here somewhere. 2 second-round picks. And Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers went to OKC with Tony Bradley and 2 second-round picks. Yeah. And then the Heat got that power forward from the Kings, Nemanja Bjelica, and the Heat traded Mo Harkless and Chris Silva? I think it's Chris Silva. And then last week you had PJ Tucker to the Bucks.
Wow. That's crazy. So much has happened.
It happened.
The Heat got someone.
Yeah, I just told you who.
Oh, my bad.
So you're not listening.
I zoned out.
I just ran through all the trades that have happened for you.
No, I zoned out for that one, but I heard the rest.
Okay.
But yeah, I was reading a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, no, a lot has happened. It happened about 12 o'clock, 12:30. Everything just went down. That's when all this news broke out for the Magic specifically. McGee, I think, was the first trade that happened. The Norman Powell trade, I think, happened minutes before we started. The George Hill trade happened, I think, on stream. And the Heat trade also, I think, happened on stream. So it's been pretty wild. I don't think any other trades are going to happen. Do you think that any other trades are going to happen or no?
I have no idea. Probably not. Maybe one more, 2, I think.
I don't think so. Because the deadline ends at 3, just so everyone remembers. The deadline ends at 3. And we're probably going to end the stream more or less right after. Probably around 3:15, something like that, unless a really big trade happens.
But Lowry apparently is going to... Wait, no, Larry's going... Is Larry going anywhere or no?
Lauri Markkanen?
No,
or Kyle Lowry?
Kyle
Lowry. No, Kyle Lowry, there's been a lot of interest for him, obviously, between the Sixers, the Lakers, and the Clippers, as well as Miami. But I think Miami is kind of backed out of it. I believe the trade package, and I was talking about it beforehand, was Matisse Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, and 2 first-round picks for Kyle Lowry. Yeah. and not the Rockets, I'm being Rockets because of Daryl Morey, but the Sixers didn't want to do that package. They didn't want to do that trade because they wanted to keep Matisse Thybulle.
I mean, it's good to keep him. He's very versatile on defense, and
I was
he's pretty
actually
good on
saying
offense,
that I think
actually.
they should have pulled the trigger.
Really?
I think they should have pulled the trigger because I think having Kyle Lowry. That's the thing. I'm usually of the school of thought of development, and you develop players, and that's how you
Mm-hmm.
win championships. But I don't think Matisse Thybulle's ceiling is high enough to push you over necessarily. He's definitely a great player, a key player should be a player on a championship roster. Will definitely have an impact. But I think Kyle Lowry has a bigger impact than Matisse Thybulle will ever have on a championship team. So because of that, I think you pull the trigger and
That's fair.
you just try to take advantage of this great season that Joel Embiid was having, this great season that Ben Simmons is having, Tobias Harris is having, and you
And
just
adding
take
that one
advantage of it.
more, a guard that like Lowry, yeah, that'd definitely be worth it.
Yeah, so that's why I
But I
think
mean, do you think the Heat should pull the trigger? Because the Heat, they're asking for Tyler Hero. That's what I was hearing
I
per
think
sources.
it really depends on how much, like, how great do you think Tyler Hero is going to be? It's kind of the same thing. How great do you think Tyler Hero is going to be? Is Tyler Hero going to be an all-star caliber player? Can Tyler Hero be the number 2, number 3 best player on a championship team?
I mean, he did really well in the finals and in the
Yeah,
conference finals.
he did really well, but is
And now as
that
a rookie, I think he has a higher ceiling because of that.
I mean, but do you think he's a guy that can be a number 2, number 3 guy on a team?
In the future, yes. Right now,
Does he
probably not.
fit? I mean, this might be a better framed question. Does he fit Jimmy Butler's timeline?
No, Lowry fits it more.
So if you're gonna win a ring, if you want to win a ring with Jimmy Butler, you make that trade for Kyle Lowry. If you want to win a ring with Tyler Hero, then you
And
don't.
keep him. Yeah,
Yeah. I would say
makes sense.
you probably do make that trade. I think though, because the Heat do have a lot of good pieces, and I think like if you're trying to win a ring, you go and you do it, and the thing it is tough because like I like the Sixers a lot. Brooklyn Nets are really good. The Bucks are really good. So I don't know if Kyle Lowry pushes the Heat.
Past it.
Yeah, I don't know if he makes them better than those teams. He definitely makes them more competitive towards those teams. Gives those teams more of a fight, but I don't think he's he'll push them over. Like on the Sixers, I think he pushes them over and they become like the favorite. At least in my opinion, they become the favorite.
Mm.
Because I'm not too high on the Brooklyn Nets personally. Not because they have, and I said it earlier. So sorry for the people that hear me repeat it. I don't think they have great firepower. Obviously, James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving are no joke. Especially now with Blake Griffin coming off the bench, Joe Harris stud. They're no joke, but just ego wise, tension builds in the playoffs. This is their first season together. They got to take some lumps together. So that's why I don't think it works out, and they're the team in the finals representing the Eastern Conference. I would put that more towards the Sixers, in my opinion, already. And Kyle Lowry, I think, pushes them even further.
Pushes
I don't
them
know
to maybe a finals win, right? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, at least coming out of the East, I think Kyle Lowry at least on Kyle Lowry on the Sixers, I think puts them in the finals. I don't know about winning the finals, but puts them in the
So
finals.
without Lowry, you think it's a toss up?
If on paper, it's a toss up between them and the Nets, with the Nets probably winning on paper. I think though the Sixers are still gonna be there, but Kyle Lowry makes it more official.
And you really don't think the Heat are a team that
I
could beat the Nets and the Sixers? I think so.
I don't think so. I just don't think so. And I can't even give you a good reason why. Like I'll be completely can't even give you a good reason
I just
why.
feel like the Heat just have a better bench.
Yeah, but then it's like I could argue those guys have better star power, and it's a star-driven league.
Well, what's the star power for the Sixers?
Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid.
Okay, and now tell me a star power for the Heat.
Jimmy Butler, Bam.
Can you make a case for Dragic?
You could, but the fact that you have to make a case for him, I think says a lot.
But you can make a case for multiple players.
Who?
Can you make a case for Tyler Hero?
Are you
Star power.
They're looking to trade Tyler Hero.
But
in a
because
bunch of trade deals.
he's so valuable.
He's valuable because of his potential.
That's fair.
If you have to make a case for that third guy, I think that already says a lot. That's
But if
the
you have
thing.
multiple people who can make that case, do you not think that's good?
I mean, like I said, that builds the argument for that they have a good bench. Their roster
That's
is
true.
filled out very well, but their star power is not the same.
I mean, I don't know. Dragic, like, on a given night could drop 20. And I mean, he's
Sure.
kind of like a Tobias Harris for me. I don't know.
I wouldn't
Tobias
say that
Harris-
because Tobias Harris gives you everything. Tobias Harris gives you rebounds, assists, and points. Goran Dragic just gives you assists and points, and points aren't necessarily a guarantee.
That's true. But I mean,
and you
it's
also
because
don't know
more
how
of
many
like
minutes
how
that guy's
much-
going to get a night. It's
That's
really
true.
wild.
It is wild. All right, you're right.
Yeah, so that's just
But
how
now,
I see it.
Bajilka, bro.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a weird deal. I don't know how he fits
He's gonna
in.
average 20. That 20 on the night.
Okay. Let's get back. I wanted to talk about the Magic trades with you. Let's start with the Vucevic trade first. So it's Vucevic and Al-Farouq Aminu to Chicago for Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., and 2 firsts. What do you think about that?
Say it again.
So Vucevic and Aminu to Chicago for Wendell Carter, Otto Porter, and 2 firsts.
I like the trade a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
For both sides.
Okay.
I feel like the Bulls did it so they could actually compete in the playoffs. And
sure.
I feel like the Magic did it because I feel like they could develop Wendell Carter Jr. pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good at developing bigs, and I feel like he's a good big to develop.
Are they really good at developing bigs?
I mean, Vucevic is pretty good. Dwight Howard was pretty good back in the day. Dwight, he was pretty good back in the day.
Oh, yeah, like 10 years ago?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's still the Magic.
Oh, my God.
Completely different, like, developing team. But
you have Mo Bamba, who's really good, just sitting on the bench, not doing anything with Ken Birch.
Mo Bamba's different.
But they don't even want to develop him. That's what I'm saying. So now you're going to have Wendell Carter Jr. there. And
Wendell Carter Jr. really kind of developed. And Otto Porter is like, he's always been a good, like, third, fourth guy.
He's a good player, but I think he was really just to match salaries. I think he was just thrown in to make the money work. I don't think that the Magic really have a plan for him.
But I think they want the picks. The picks is what they want.
The picks were definitely the ideal thing they wanted. That's why in the Aaron Gordon trade, that happened. But real quick, what do you think? Because I thought that Wendell Carter Jr. Was part of the long-term plan for the Bulls. So them getting rid of him made me feel like Lauri Markkanen now was gonna get re-signed soon, and probably be a part of the long-term plan for.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised. I'm surprised at that because I thought they gave up on Lauri Markkanen.
I thought they did too, but I mean, he's still in trade talks. There's still a lot of trade talks for Lauri.
They might trade him for a guard.
I thought so. Lauri Markkanen, the Bulls were trying to trade Lauri Markkanen to the Pelicans for Lonzo Ball, apparently.
But it didn't go through.
The Pelicans want more than just Lauri Markkanen.
I mean, I'd take it as the Bulls. I'd give more.
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends what that more is.
I mean, if it's what's their point guard?
Kobe White.
Kobe White. I think if they give Kobe White and Lauri Markkanen for Lonzo and a pick, that's good.
You see, I don't think they want. I don't. Do you think the Pelicans are looking for another guard? I guess just to replace Lonzo.
I guess they replace Lonzo, yeah.
Because I think they want to develop. I think they want to develop Kira Lewis, who they just drafted, and I think they also want to develop the other guard, Nikhil Walker Alexander.
So what do you think they're gonna do with Bledsoe?
That's right. They also have Bledsoe there. I think they're just riding out Bledsoe's contract. I don't think they want Bledsoe there anymore either.
I don't think so.
So that's why it's like I don't think they want another guard necessarily because I think they're trying to figure out that rotation between those three guys. I think they're looking more for a wing, so like a shooting guard, small forward type of guy. I think is what they're looking more for, because they're gonna get that 4 that they also need in Lauri. So getting a guy that's a 2 or a 3 would be really beneficial. But I honestly don't know the Bulls roster well enough to think who that would be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Actually, I don't know what they're gonna do. But
But I
I
still think
mean,
it's a weird trade.
I hope they trade Larry Markkinen though. I don't like seeing him in the Bulls.
I mean,
He has too much potential.
I think him next to Vooch would be really nice. I think that would probably make him better.
You think?
I think so. Let me see what this
I feel like he's
notification
gonna
is.
get even less boards than he already does.
He's gonna get less what?
Boards than he already does, and he's probably gonna like.
Well, that's the thing is he doesn't have to be accounted on for getting bored so much.
He never has been. Wendell Carter Jr. was
Exactly.
taking on his boards too.
Yes, you have someone that's kind of covering up his weakness.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. To play Larry Markkinen at the 4, but then
But I also think like it was more of like a competition thing. You get me between, like I would imagine like in the locker room. That's kind of probably how it felt. It's like okay, it's between me and him. It's between me, Laurie Marketing, and him, Wendell Carter Jr. So it's like they're both kind of like fighting for minutes, fighting for spots and looking good. But now with Vucevic being there, it's kind of set like set tier of like, hey, I'm the best player here, or at least the second best player here. And it's like you guys like you're underneath, so it's like I'm gonna teach you some things. And I think that might help the dynamic more for such a young team.
yeah, that's true.
But then you also had Aaron Gordon that got traded to the Nuggets for Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a first round pick. I feel like that's a very low haul for Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, no, they got nothing for Gordon. Is he an expiring contract though?
I'll look it up.
If he's an expiring contract, it makes sense. If he's
I want
not an expiring contract, then
I want to say it's not expiring.
I mean, it seems like that, but I don't know.
I want to say he has like 2 years, something like that. But tell me your thoughts on it.
On
the Aaron Gordon trade. How do you think he fits in with the Nuggets?
I think he fits in with the Nuggets well because I think they're kind of giving up on Paul Millsap. They're gonna give up Paul Millsap. He's too old. So they want a younger version of Paul Millsap, which is Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon definitely fits their timeline better too, with everyone being young, you know?
It said 2 days ago, Yahoo Sports reported Aaron Gordon could agree to contract extension with trade.
Oh, he can. Oh, yeah. So he is an expiring contract.
Let me see real quick. I just want to make sure. No, he's not.
Not?
No, he has this year and next year.
They robbed him. They robbed my boy Gordon.
Yeah, this year and next year. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's not even like I don't know if that first round pick is another team's pick, but if that's the Nuggets first round pick, that's gonna be a very I guess high draft pick in terms of it's gonna be like in the 20s. So I feel like the Magic could have gotten more there because Gary Harris isn't a great player, to be honest. He's kind of fallen off. And RJ Hampton is a rookie, but like, dang, do they really think RJ Hampton is going to be that good?
No, I just think they just got rid of him just to get rid of him.
Yeah, so it's
Which
like.
I think, but did they get anything? Wait, they got RJ Hampton,
Gary, and a first.
I guess they just got the first. That's really what they wanted. They didn't want Gary Harris. Who would want Gary Harris? He's been playing like dog water for like who knows how long now.
Yes, but it's like also. I don't want to say that the Magic have a bad draft history. Obviously, they don't. They have Vucevic, they got Gordon, they got Fournier, they have
Fultz.
They didn't draft Fultz.
No, but still, you're right.
They got Cole Anthony, who I really like. They have Jonathan Isaac. Like they have a pretty decent draft history, but they just can't put anything together. So I feel like it's weird that as a team, I feel like the Orlando Magic should have gone after. Like Wendell Carter Jr., I think was a good move. Like go after young players that you can develop that would fit into a system you're trying to create because with you drafting players, like yeah, you get good guys, but you also get guys that never fit into anything. So it's like I don't know. It's just like a problem that isn't solved by personnel. It's solved in management. It seems like.
Makes sense.
You also have Evan Fournier. Fournier, who was traded to the Celtics for a second round pick, 2 second round picks, which I think
that was also a rob.
That was robbery.
I think the Magic just got robbed in general. The only thing that they didn't get robbed was of Vucevic, and even then, they still kind of got robbed.
Yeah, they got rid of Aaron Gordon, Vucevic, Aminu, and Evan Fournier for Gary Harris, RJ Hampton.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like in 2K when you make trades and like they're really bad trades, but they go through anyways.
Yeah.
That's literally what it was.
Yeah, just kept fleecing the Magic.
The Magic just blew up their team just because they're like, you know what? Why not?
And this is something that the Magic have been trying to do for a while. Like these last few years, there's been a lot of talk about them like trading a bunch of people, but it just never happened. So a lot of people thought it's like, oh, the Magic are just talking, it's not going to happen. But this year they actually did it. So I guess Jonathan Isaac is now the face of that franchise, and I don't know how to feel about that.
He's good. I mean, he's a great player.
He's good. He's also kind of injury prone, isn't he?
That's the only thing.
Yeah,
he's really a better version of a Thibault, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's not great if that's the face of your franchise. No shots, but
I mean, he was averaging like almost like 16 when he was like not injured, and he was like doing
I'm gonna need you to stop and just think for a second what you said. That the face of the franchise
he also was
averaging 16.
Bro, hold up a second.
My guy, come on.
Hold up, bro.
Come on.
Hold up. Let me tell you right now.
Your best player
stats.
is averaging 16 points.
That's not like what makes him good, though. What makes him good is his defensive prowess. The man was a beast.
Okay, that can make him good, but not a face of your franchise type of guy.
Okay, you're right. You're probably right.
To be a face of a franchise, you probably need to be averaging like guaranteed over 20. Like that just has to happen, but you're probably averaging like 22, 23.
He averaged,
face of the franchise.
He averaged almost 2 steals, 2 blocks a game. That's insane.
No, it is insane. But you're averaging 16 points.
The madman. You know? But yeah, no, like you're right.
That's why it's him and Wendell Carter Jr. Those are the two guys that are the face of the franchise now for the Orlando Magic. So we'll see how that goes.
Nah, you still got Fultz. Fultz still there.
I like Fultz. I didn't like him at all coming out of the draft because I just thought he was so overhyped. But now I like him because he's more rated, I guess. It's not overrated like before. What do you think about Evan Fournier though in the Celtics?
Evan Fournier? I like that a lot. I think they definitely needed a small forward. Not really a small forward. I mean, kind of like a shooting guard.
He's more of a shooting guard, I think.
Yeah, but they needed that. They needed that because they kind of put Marcus Smart there, and like I don't know, Marcus Smart I think plays better off the bench as a like that kind of explosion you need.
See, what I thought it was weird because I thought they should have either gone for someone that was more of a playmaker or go for a big. And they did neither of the two because Evan Fournier is a bucket, but he is not someone that is a great playmaker.
That's true. I wonder why the Celtics didn't go for Vucevic.
I mean, they probably did, and they just couldn't.
They could have given 3 first-round picks for him.
The Celtics probably didn't want to do that. They don't like feeling like they lost a trade. They like feeling like they won a trade.
Yes. Being dumb, I see.
Well, it's helped them out in a lot of ways. That's how they freaking rob them. Like Evan Fournier is definitely worth more than 2 second-round picks. Like,
yeah,
like if I had to place a bet,
they could have gotten Gordon. They could have gotten Gordon as well.
Yeah, probably, but it just depends on what they have to give up. But for that trade with Evan Fournier for 2 second-round picks, if I had to make a bet, I would bet that both those second-round picks aren't on the Magic. Like, they draft them, and then they just don't even...
release them.
Yeah, like, they're not on the team past, like,
I don't know. Some second-round picks have become good.
A few have.
I feel like maybe it's their time to shine, the Magic.
But is two rotation players that are maybe like your 10th, 9th guy in your roster
Yeah.
worth losing Evan Fournier?
No.
No, definitely not. Evan Fournier is averaging 20 points a game,
For real.
so that's not worth it.
Looking
I
right
also
there.
wanted to save this trade to talk with you as well. Norman Powell to the Blazers
I love it.
for Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood.
I love it, but Gary Trent Jr. was kind of like pricey there.
What do you mean?
Gary Trent Jr. was a great piece for the Blazers.
Oh, baby,
He's
hold on. All
a
right,
new
so a
trade.
trade just happened.
Let's see.
According to Woj, Rondo, point guard, Atlanta Hawks, traded for Lou Williams of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Excuse me?
So Lou Williams will be joining Trae Young in Atlanta, and Rajon Rondo will be playing with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, going back to Los Angeles, but in a new uniform.
That's insane.
What do you think about that?
I think both teams kind of won that trade. Not gonna lie.
Do you?
Like as much as like Lou, I love
Yeah.
Lou Will. As much as I like his scoring ability, the man is not a playmaker and cannot defend. I think Rajon Rondo could defend much better and is definitely more of a playoff person you want on your team, especially with the Clippers like playing like terrible in the playoffs. I think Rondo is a good piece to have, a championship piece you want to like put like someone like Paul George in his place and tell him you're playing like dog water, play better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then like and then I think it's a good match. It's a good like pair to have with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, that trade was definitely moved. I mean, that trade by the Clippers definitely done with playoff intent.
Of course, of course. And then Lou Will is good for the Hawks because I feel like he's just a great scorer off the bench that you need. For especially the Hawks bench is terrible without Trae Young in.
It is, yeah. When Trae Young gets off the floor, that offense does not work anymore. So having the
No,
will there
but I
will
mean,
definitely help them. So I can
I
understand that
think I
argument.
think that's a problem with just them over relying on Trae Young. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, hey, if they're deciding not to do that anymore, I think Lou Will is a good pickup for them to keep it going.
Just
You
to
know?
add it real quick,
Mhm.
so apparently, where was it? So Toronto is trading guard, uh, Matt Thomas to the Utah Jazz for a second, round pick. I just want to throw that in
Yeah,
real quick.
that's a good trade. I think Toronto's kind of blowing up their team anyway, so they kind of don't need that. They might as well pick up the second round pick, which I know they actually drafted really well. They draft really well no matter what like position they have. So I think they'll make a really good player out of that second round pick.
Yeah. But apparently, so an analyst I referenced earlier, Kevin O'Connor, he retweeted that trade by Adrian Wojnarowski, saying this deal opens up a roster spot necessary to make a Kyle Lowry trade.
So there might be one in the next 15 minutes.
15 minutes. That'd be
Hey,
wild.
that would
At
be
the
wild.
buzzer.
At the buzzer, you see Lowry in the Heat uniform
That would be wild.
carrying that team to the finals.
That would be wild.
That would be wild, but I doubt it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Watch him
Rondo.
go to like the Knicks.
But do
It
you
could
think
happen.
that'd be weird? But do you think that actually helps
The Heat?
the? No. Back to the Rondo Lou Will trade.
Oh, no, no, okay.
Do you think? Because Rondo was supposed to be like a veteran guy over there to kind of mentor Trae Young and
Mm-hmm.
be that guy for him, and it seemed like it was working. From a lot of media people that work with the team, a lot of beat writers were saying that Rondo was kind of mentoring Trae Young and helping him kind of go through some of the problems of being a young star on not a great team, and kind of helping him walk through it since Rondo's been on so many teams and has been in the league for so long. So he's kind of being a mentor figure. So him being gone, I can understand what you're saying about scoring and everything like that. So on the court, it might have a pretty good impact in terms of numbers and stuff. But off the court, in the locker room, the mentality of Trae Young, how do you think Rondo might that loss of Rondo affect Trae Young? Do you think Trae Young might go a little bit off the rails now. Maybe we see Trae Young go for a trade, ask for a trade in a couple years. Because I remember, I think last year he was talking about that he just wants to be in a winning situation. So I don't know if them trading Rondo really, them getting Lou Will really helps put them in an even better winning situation. I feel like they just shouldn't have done anything. But what do you think about that with
Well,
Rondo?
I
Rondo
mean,
not being there anymore as a mentor.
I feel like weren't there problems between Rondo and the team? I heard some stuff
Not
about that,
not
but
really. That he just wasn't. He
he
just
wasn't
wasn't
going to get
playing
them there,
well. I
right?
think that's just what
Oh,
it
he
was
wasn't
really.
playing well.
Yeah, I think it's just he wasn't playing well.
All right, but I mean, in terms of like winning situation, I think it might improve them next year. Unless Lou Will's an expiring contract, then never mind. But if he's not,
Let me look it up.
then that will definitely help them in the next year. Or if they even resign him, they'll help him out. But that might put them a little bit higher in the winning situation. Hopefully, maybe like an explosion between John Collins and Trae Young could put them where the Knicks are right now, which came out of nowhere because the Knicks were terrible last season and they're
Yeah.
now like good.
Tibbs, baby, Tibbs.
They didn't really change. Yeah, they might have to change their coaching. If they change their coaching, I think they could be put in a winning situation.
Wait, who?
What? The Hawks?
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying the Knicks. I was like, no.
No, the Knicks are doing great.
Well, that's the thing. The Hawks did make a move with their head coach. They fired Lloyd Pierce.
Yeah, and they got to refire another coach. And that's what they got to do.
They have to what?
They have to get it. They have to fire another coach again. It's not working out.
What, Nate McMillan?
Yeah, it's not working out for them either.
What do you mean? They went like 9-0.
They're still not winning enough. They need to win every single game. If not, they need to fire their coach.
They did. They're so far that I think they've maybe lost one. They're like 9-1.
They're really that good?
Yeah, they.
I need to catch up.
My guy, some analyst. Jeez,
for real though.
My goodness, I should have brought KK on. I think she
honestly,
knows
yeah,
more.
she probably would have done better.
Shout out to KK if you still.
They actually are 9-0 though.
I don't know about 9-0. I remember last time I heard they were like 8-0, which was a couple days ago.
I'll tell you right now. Could have.
Yeah, they're like the 4th seed. Last time I checked, they were the 4th seed in the East.
The Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up, chill.
Come on, my guy. Gotta keep up.
Hold up, I am trying to do
currently the Hornets are the 4th seed, and the Hawks are the 7th seed because everyone's so close together.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah, bro, it's wild over there.
What's their winning streak?
They're 8-2. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. So
okay, yeah, no, you're right. I guess they did already do that. Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk. There was a whole article that was posted like the same day or like within 24 hours of Lloyd Pierce being fired. That I guess a bunch of media members had like at the ready, of players saying that they didn't like Lloyd Pierce. They didn't like what he was doing over there, and the fans didn't like what he was doing either. So him being gone and Nate McMillan in has.
I wonder why John Collins
changed.
wants to stay now. I can see why.
For sure.
Yeah, John Collins said he wants to stay. That's why they probably haven't traded him.
Yeah.
They probably actually want to like aim for the playoffs maybe. And Lou Will is a great pickup now. That's honestly the best thing they could do.
Well, that's the thing is
maybe not in the playoffs, but I mean, definitely for them to stay in the contention. I think it's good to have Lou Will over Rondo.
Yeah, that's the thing is Rondo
doesn't get you wins in the regular season. He gets you wins in the playoffs.
Yeah. But that's the thing is I think Rondo was like that veteran leadership, especially for Trae Young. So losing that and now you bring in Lou Will, who is not going to have that same impact.
Nah, but he's still a good veteran. Lou Will is a lovable guy.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying
guy, and I still think he'll help him mentor at least in the scoring aspect.
But that's the thing. Trae Young doesn't need to be mentored in the scoring aspect, and Trae Young doesn't need a lovable guy to mentor him. He needs someone I think that's more intense, like Rondo, that's gonna like call him out and be like, "Hey, you're doing this wrong," and just be flat out with him. I think that's the type of guy that Trae Young needs and will respond to better than someone like Lou Will, who's like, "Oh yeah, just go get a bucket. Who cares?" It's like I feel like that's Lou Will's mentality.
Maybe they should trade for another veteran. I don't know.
I feel like they shouldn't have done any trades, to be honest. The only trade I would have thought is maybe Collins, just because of it seemed like he didn't want to be there anymore. But yeah, because their winning streak and everything that solved those problems. Winning solves everything. So I didn't think they need to make the move at all. That's why I'm really surprised they even did that.
I'm surprised too, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't think they needed to do anything. unless it was like a real upgrade, and I don't consider that like a serious upgrade. Like it helps, but it's not like monumental or anything like that. So that's why it's weird. We're talking about everything, KK. We're talking about basketball.
Yo, let me see that chat.
Let me see that chat. KK agrees though
okay.
that she would have done better. So
I agree too. I think anyone would have done better.
Do you think Andre Drummond gets bought out? He
I
probably does,
definitely.
right?
The man has not been playing a single game for the past like who knows
Like,
how long now.
I feel like the last like 2 weeks at least. I feel like at least the last 2 weeks. So yeah,
Wait, why can't I
because
see a chat? Oh, I can.
they were trying to
Oh, see it
trade
now.
him. They were trying to trade him, but they weren't really able to. So I think they're just gonna probably buy him out a couple days after the deadline, which sucks because Drummond's a really good player. So you kind of hate to see him
Not playing at all
not necessarily not playing at all, but just like
in a losing situation.
you hate to see him in a losing situation, but also like just in the sense of competitiveness, I don't like that he's gonna be a guy that a contender can just get for cheap when he's a really good player. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna like he could go to I don't know if he can go to Brooklyn. I don't know how that would work money wise. I don't think he can. But for him to go to like the Lakers or the Clippers for like almost nothing, that kind of sucks. Like I don't really like that too much in terms of like competitiveness.
Yeah, I kind of wish that like someone would trade for him, but like it's just you have to trade like you have to match the salary cap too.
Which is tough because New York was going after him, but I don't know how that would work money wise at all. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, they have too many contracts that are just
Yeah.
no.
And I don't think Andre Drummond would want to go to New York. I just don't. I mean, like maybe because New York's doing really good right now, but I think if he had to choose between New York or going to one of the LA teams, it would really show what he cares more about, numbers or winning. Because he cares about numbers, he'll go to the Knicks. If he cares about winning, he'll go to LA, go to one of the LA teams. So we'll see what
Maybe you
that.
should go somewhere in the middle.
No.
Numbers and winning.
I mean, New York is technically in the middle, but when I'm talking about winning, I'm talking about like a playoff run, possibly finals.
Well, I mean, the Heat could have used them. Kind of.
It would have been
Actually,
weird.
I don't know.
I don't think that would have been a good fit with him and Bam.
Nah. But I mean, hey, boards are boards.
Boards are boards, but also points are points, and you're gonna have the paint clogged up by Bam and Drummond, and then Jimmy's
And Jimmy
not like
Butler trying to drive in.
Yeah, it's like, bro, what are you doing over there?
Well, you got 2 picks inside the paint.
Oh my goodness, no.
Easy layup.
No.
Yeah, no, you're right.
No. So yeah, no. For Bam needs to be with a stretch big, in order to really excel.
Oh yeah, true.
I like Drummond though. I like Drummond a lot. Fun to see where he goes if he does go anywhere. And yeah, I don't think Lonzo Ball moves anywhere, but Lonzo Ball is on expiring contract. So do you think that the Pelicans would re-sign him?
What?
I feel like they should re-sign Lonzo.
I think so. If they don't trade him, definitely re-sign him. He's definitely a good future piece that they should either keep or trade for. Like,
I was saying
okay.
earlier that Lonzo could fit like on any team, and just be a great asset. All right, 8 minutes. We got 8 minutes.
Yeah, I'm checking now. Woj hasn't said anything yet. Yeah, I'm like refreshing, waiting.
Yeah, we'll
It's probably gonna happen last minute if it happens.
Yeah, we'll probably end this probably like right after the deadline, probably like right after 3 o'clock. We'll end the stream just because I feel like we've already talked about everything pretty much. Oh, what do you think about PJ Tucker on the Bucks? That happened last week.
I like it. I definitely hope they play him at the 3-4 position, not at the center, because I'd be pissed if they did.
Same.
If they're really putting him over. Wait, who did they trade? Just to make sure.
Crap, give me a minute. I'll look it up. You stay on Woj.
I stay on Woj?
Yeah, you stay on Woj.
I'll stay on Woj.
I looked it up earlier and I don't remember. Crap.
Come on, trade happened.
Nothing happened. There's been so much movement.
Anything.
There's been so much movement. Yeah, it was for the Bucks traded DJ Augustine and DJ Wilson to the Rockets for
Wow,
PJ
DJs.
Tucker and
The DJs for the PJs.
DJ. That's funny. PJ Tucker and
Mhm.
Krukis.
Karukas.
Redines. He used to be on the Nets, I think.
Oh my god.
I don't remember his name. He's like
Who are these
okay.
people?
He's okay.
Well,
he's a young
all right.
guy.
I definitely like that trade. Definitely. If you have Brooke Lopez at the 5, then you have Giannis at the 4. If you have PJ Tucker at the 3, that's solid. And then 2 Middleton and 1 Holiday. That's a pretty like defensive big lineup.
That's a
I think would
really
work.
big defensive lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the first, like except for PJ Tucker, everyone else is fast except for also Brooke Lopez. But I mean, Brooke Lopez gonna be standing. Look, the both corners are already like perfect. The corner threes, one corner 3 Brooke Lopez, one corner 3 PJ Tucker. It works out perfectly.
I just want to take a second to acknowledge KK in the chat saying I thought we were talking about football this whole time. I was wondering why Steven looks different.
Man.
And Chayev, it's fish, by the way. What a chat. What a group of characters. But yeah, I was kind of saying the same thing. PJ Tucker is probably either coming off the bench and they're starting DiVincenzo or they're putting in PJ Tucker in. And I imagine they don't. I imagine the roster they would probably run is either DiVincenzo's out there with so DiVincenzo at the 2 or the 1, PJ Tucker. I mean Drew Holiday at the 2 or the 1, Middleton at the 3, and then Tucker's at the 4 with Giannis at the 5. Or you have Tucker coming off.
Who are you putting? Wait. Say that again.
Just say Drew at the 1, DiVincenzo at the 2, Middleton at the 3.
Do you want to still start DiVincenzo?
I mean, I'm just throwing out potential rotations.
Oh, potential other rotations. Okay.
Yeah, like what else we could see as a starting lineup.
Mhm.
So you could have Tucker at the 4 and then Giannis at the 5. Or you could have Tucker come off the bench, move Giannis to the 4, and then Brooke Lopez at the 5. Or you could go really big like the lineup you said. You're welcome, Chaya.
All right. Do you think that Giannis, they should play him more out of an off-ball role, do you think?
Yeah.
I think so
do.
too. Because
Yeah,
I remember when he didn't play and then Holiday just dropped a ton of assists, a ton of points, a ton of everything. I'm just like, why are they not giving Holiday the ball more? And just
I've been saying that for a while now. that Giannis should not have the ball in his hands to start. That they should kind of do what they do in Philly and have someone else like obviously Joel Embiid is not as capable of the same things as Giannis. Not the same ball handler. But even then, I would still rather have the ball in someone else's hand, bringing it down the court, and then you try to get Giannis freed up to go and get a bucket.
Yeah, because he's a lob threat and a quick lob threat.
Yeah, exactly.
They should really like use that, and then just him cutting would be beautiful.
Yeah, if you could use him,
he has to just be a transition guy, who loses the ball every time he tries to like take it in the wall.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
Yeah, you got to use him. I think using him best in like a high pick and roll setup.
Oh, definitely.
Or just feeding him in the post as a face up. So not on the block, so he doesn't get crowded, but more in a face up in the short corner situation, so that way he could still use his speed to get by some of these guys, or even just use his length and just go right over the top for some of these dudes instead of trying to go downhill all the time from the top of the key and then forcing him to be a playmaker, which I don't think he's really that great at. In terms of finding somebody to kick out to the perimeter.
And then like they just turn over the ball because everyone knows he's gonna pass it to the perimeter.
Well, no, I think it's actually vice versa, as everyone clogs the paint knowing that he's gonna try and score. So that's why in the playoffs they'll just put up a wall and have like 2 guys, maybe even 3 more or less, like to go and show themselves in the paint. So that way it's like Giannis either goes and he throws a brick or he kicks it to somebody, but then it's like we'll take our chances with whoever's out there shooting a 3.
That's true. No,
and it's like whatever.
No, but even then they still kind of read it. They read a lot of the stuff too, and they're
exactly. That's why they become very predictable. But this season, I was talking about it earlier. This season, the Bucks aren't a number 1 seed or number 2 seed or anything like that. I think they were 3. I think they were 3.
I think they're three. I'll look it up right now.
Because
let me check World real quick again. One more
yeah,
time.
because they're
No Lonzo
experimenting.
Ball trade. He's
Huh?
staying in New Orleans.
Let's go. But I think that the Bucks are kind of just. I think the Bucks were just experimenting this season, working on their defense, working on their offense, and trying to just be ready.
Oh wait, there's a trade.
Oh, what is it?
Terrence Davis to Sacramento for 2 future second round picks.
Terrence Davis, was he even playing this season?
I don't know, but he's actually good though. He's a good player.
I think he was like suspended or something.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame you for thinking that.
I think.
All right, there's one more minute, so something's bound to happen.
I don't think anything's gonna happen. I think that's kind of it.
So Lowry's staying.
Lowry is staying. Toronto.
Wait, hold on. We have one more minute.
No, it's done, my guy. It's done.
Nah, one more minute. You'll be surprised.
No. It's done. Toronto fans can rejoice. They keep the greatest Raptor of all time on their team. And it's a good day for them. I thought it was so. Did you hear all the speculation that was going on last night when Kyle Lowry threw up like 2 peace signs on his way to the locker room after the game?
Yeah, because he thought he might get traded.
Yeah, they were like, could this be a sign that it's the last time we see Kyle Lowry saying goodbye to everybody? I was just like, that is the stupidest thing I've read. The guy saw the camera and just threw up 2 peace signs and walked out.
Like, yeah, because the camera was focused on him.
Yeah, like he's the type of dude to just do something like that.
All right, well, the trade deadline's over.
That's it.
And nothing.
Well, the deadline...
Woj is taking a while to like...
Yeah, there's definitely things probably still processing. So yeah, if there is, so we could probably wait another like 10, 15 minutes or so to see if anything does happen. Good. Oh man.
Yeah. So far, Lonzo's not getting traded. Terrence Davis got traded, and then the Rondo. Those are the last things that happened last 30 minutes.
Yusuf Nurkic said that that he announced that he's returning to the floor on Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
He's not getting traded. Did you think there was going to be this many trades at the deadline? I didn't think there was.
I didn't think there was either. But
there was a lot of talk. There was so much talk. There was a lot
of it's just surprised that Magic just blew up their team like that. That's what I'm surprised about.
Yeah. How? In terms of like ranking, right?
The best trade?
Yeah. Where are they? No. In terms of ranking, like where are they at the bottom of the league? Like, are they the worst team, second worst, third, fourth, fifth?
Worst.
They're the worst.
100% worse.
Worse than the Pistons?
Yes. The Pistons at least have a franchise player somewhat in Jeremy Grant. Who's a franchise player for the Magic?
I was asking you that question, my guy.
Yeah, my guy. Jonathan Isaac is out. He's out. He's not even playing.
You're telling me Mr. 16 points per game was the man.
Look. I just like his defensiveness. Defensive, like...
It's understandable.
I mean, so Jeremy Grant is also good on defense and offense. Great. So
yeah, Jeremy Grant.
And they also kind of robbed him. But you know who really got robbed? Christian Wood. That man got robbed.
No. The man that got robbed was Steven Silas.
Who?
The head coach for the Rockets.
Oh, yeah.
The man signed up, and I talked about it earlier, that Steven Silas really got robbed because he signed up for Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, Boogie, and Christian Wood. That's what he signed up for.
No, yeah. For real. And then
now he's with John Wall, Victor Oladipo, who I'm pretty sure doesn't even want to be there. So, and then Christian Wood is there, but
Kevin Porter Jr. now. Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood, and then no center, 0 centers.
It's rough.
They even trade for a center. They have no centers.
Do you think there's because I didn't talk about it with you, and I didn't really talk about it much myself. The first trade that happened today, I'm pretty sure, was JaVale McGee to the Nuggets for 2 second-round picks. Do you think JaVale McGee has an impact for the Nuggets or no?
Yes, off the bench, definitely. Especially because I don't think they have a good center off the bench for Jokic.
Dang, Chaib said the Raptors kept Chris Bosh. They did.
What? What do you mean? They've been having him.
He never left. Obviously a joke. I mean, JaVale McGee to the Nuggets helps, I guess.
No, he's a good pickup for any team.
But that was like rim protection, I think, is why they got him. I think Jamal Murray even came out and said that's like, we can't expect Jokic to do everything.
No, yeah, and especially because Jokic, he's been averaging more steals and blocks.
Dude, I sent that to you last night, and I was so blown away by that stat.
Yeah,
How is
no,
he
he
the
was,
leader of steals on that team?
dude. He's insane with steals. He goes through passing lanes like it's nothing.
I get you, but it's like, what are the guards doing?
Well, Gary Harris is literally just throwing up bricks, and then Jamal Murray is
What are
is
they
either
doing on
dropping 30.
defense?
Jamal Murray is either dropping 30 or dropping like 5.
But what are they doing on defense? Because how
On
is
defense? Bro, I don't even know.
it's freaking
I don't
it's
know
just,
what they're doing on
it's
defense. I'll
wild.
be
So
honest.
yeah, no, it's a good pickup.
Like
How do
I thought
you
Jamal Murray
think?
was good on defense until like
Yeah,
recently.
I think Aaron Gordon and JaVale McGee were both signed for defense. I think
Yeah.
that's why they were signed. And
Definitely.
they will probably both be utilized as like when Jokic is on the floor, I think is when Gordon's gonna shine, and they're gonna use Aaron Gordon as like a heavy discount version of Jokic, trying to use his playmaking ability on the short pick
Gordon
and
they're
roll
gonna
and things
they're gonna
like
use
that.
him much more of a Paul Millsap role. Definitely.
I think they're gonna use him more than a Paul Millsap role.
You think so?
I think when Jokic is off the court, yes.
Oh, when he's off the court, yeah, they probably
That's what I'm
They probably
saying.
make him the playmaker because
Yeah.
Jamal
Yeah.
Murray they should focus him on scoring every time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when he is off the court, Aaron Gordon's gonna step right in and try to do everything that Jokic
But I still
did.
think he's gonna play the 4. I don't think they're gonna put him on the 5.
Oh no, for sure.
They're probably gonna play him like a
But that's when
hopefully, like
McGee comes in. You get me? That's when McGee
yeah,
comes
McGee
in,
will be a
plays that
shot.
5,
Like,
and then
yeah,
he's
that
that
5.
he's the rim protector.
Yeah, that's great. That's honestly great. I really hope the Nuggets make it to the finals. I want them to.
That would be awesome. That'd be really
awesome
great.
for Jokic. Like
But,
Jokic, even though he might not get the MVP, which I do think he deserves. He definitely is in the talk for that.
well, a lot of people are saying with Embiid out, with LeBron out, that
Jokic is
it's
number
probably
1.
going to be Jokic.
Nah, it's still Actually, you're right. What am I saying?
I was watching, not watching. I was listening to a podcast, and they said that there's like 10 guys that you can make an argument for the MVP this year.
Yeah, that's
And it
true.
was wild because there's some Jimmy Butler chatter for MVP.
The problem with Jimmy Butler is he missed too many games in the beginning.
Well, he's still in there. People are still talking about it.
Really?
Yeah, people are
Also,
still
like, I
saying
don't
that
think he
could possibly
scores
do
enough.
it.
It's a sad
Damian
reality.
Lillard is another one.
Lillard definitely is.
Luka is another one. James Harden is another one. Giannis is putting up better numbers, arguably, than his last 2 seasons, but the narrative is just against
numbers
him.
are enough.
And then you have Jokic. Then you have LeBron. You have Embiid.
What's the spot for the Nets right now?
I think the Nets are second.
Second?
Yeah,
I think Harden has a big case for it too, just because he's kind of been carrying the team on his back.
But I think that
Kyrie Irving is like deciding to sit down every other game, and then Kevin Durant just got injured and he's been out.
Yeah,
for
but
a
I think
while.
the narrative is just against James Harden. I think the media just doesn't want to give it to Harden. It's the same thing with Giannis.
Harden,
they just don't want to give it to Giannis either.
Harden, LeBron, and Giannis all have the we're tired of voting for you guys for MVP. Let's vote for someone else.
Well, that's the thing is LeBron. This year, LeBron had the narrative.
What?
This year, LeBron had the narrative because of that. People were saying it's like, man, LeBron's been the greatest player in the league for so long, but we haven't given him the award in forever. So it's like we should maybe do it this season.
And then he got injured.
It was literally his to win. After like Embiid went down, people were saying that it was gonna be LeBron.
Yeah, he should have gotten it, honestly.
But then LeBron went out because of Solomon Hill. So
no, yeah,
that sucks. All right, Hansel, do you have any thoughts? Any last thoughts to share before we close up the stream?
Let me check out Woj real quick one more time.
Yeah, do that. That's smart.
Nothing.
Fire. All right, so you have any last thoughts?
Disappointed. Last thoughts. So far, I like the trades that happened. I really do. Although I wanted some bigger trades to happen. Not gonna lie. The Magic gave the big trades, but it also was like highway robbery. So
yeah,
I don't know how I feel too much about that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping people get bought out because they can still sign people, right? When they get bought out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see hopefully Drummond get signed by someone soon if he gets bought out, which he probably will. There's no.
Yeah, he'll probably get. I imagine within the next 48 hours he gets bought out. Since he wasn't traded.
Hours?
Next 2 days.
Oh, all right, yeah, I think so. At least a 4 to 8, not 48. I was like, what?
Yeah, I have some
Like this
sources
like
that said
today?
in the next 48 hours, 4 to 8
Just
hours.
sources. Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. It's my source. Trust me.
But yeah, so he's probably gonna get bought out. I don't know who else would get bought out in the league. Probably no one important.
Off the top of my head, I can't really think of any.
Yeah, so I don't think there's gonna be
Um,
any huge signings other than Drummond.
no.
Then, yeah, I don't really think there's much else. But I do think that the league got a little bit more competitive for sure. For sure, the Nuggets now really do have a case
Ooh,
to make in the finals.
the Cavs are all in on Jared Allen. I kind of just realized that because they lost McGee and they're gonna probably get rid of Drummond. So
Yeah, they probably need to sign like a backup center.
yeah, they
Just
went from having a bunch of bigs to having no bigs.
yeah, they still need to get a backup center though for sure. Just to like,
No, 100%.
but
I think the
I mean,
Nuggets are gonna be a team to watch now with
for
Aaron Gordon. I
sure,
think
no,
everyone's gonna see how
for
that plays
sure.
out.
The Nuggets are gonna be up there. Jokic, if they actually like make it up to the playoffs, like not playoffs, but up to like the top 3 seeds
Yeah,
and like stay there.
yeah.
Jokic definitely has a case for MVP.
I'm
And
really
then
curious to see how Aaron Gordon plays. I think it's gonna be fun. Vucevic to the Bulls, I think is cool. I don't think it's gonna change too much for them.
I think the Bulls are like gonna make it a little further in the playoffs now, but I don't think
Yeah,
they're
but
gonna
I
keep
don't think it
going.
changes too much for them. Like I think next season we'll see maybe them be a little bit better. But I don't think this
I
trade
mean,
impacts them that
how is
much
the
this
coaching for
season.
the Bulls? Is he good?
Good.
They're a
Yeah.
lot better this season, right?
Yeah, because they fired their head coach last season.
Yeah.
They haven't even
Okay.
had it.
Then the Hawks. I hope they maintain this. Like,
I'm actually curious to see, which is funny. I'm curious to see how the Magic work out. I just want to see
I
how that dumpster fire
I
goes.
I literally think it's a win every single time the Magic go against anyone.
Yeah, for them, right? It's a
I
win
think
for
they're gonna
them.
sit out their players. They're just gonna like just gonna watch
It's a win
watch
for
them.
them. Every time they step out on the court, the amount of pity the other team will feel for them.
The teams that play the third stringers against and win and win.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Magic fans right now are punching the wall.
Dude, for
Or
real. I feel
Tampa
so because they're a
Tampa
pretty good
fans.
fan base, I'm pretty sure too. But it's just like, man, that sucks.
The
That
Tampa Bay Raptors are also punching the air right now. They're like, "Yay, we have Lowry, but now we're still not winning."
yeah, yeah.
They really
And
got no
they
one.
lost Norman Powell too. They got
Yeah,
Gary
they
Trent Jr.
lost their
and
like
Rodney Hood. I don't
their
know how
third
much that
best
helps.
scorer.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. That
It
was a
kind of
weird
sucks though,
trade.
because the Raptors are a good team. Like, they have good players. They just,
I'm a lot lower on the Raptors than most people, and I'm aware of that.
but like, because you have like Lowry, you have Van Vliet, you have Siakam. You really just need a center. That's
I'm
all you
not
need. If
that
they
high
sign Drummond, they'd be good. But
I'm not
they,
that high on Van Vliet though. I'm also not that high on Siakam.
I mean, that's fair. That's completely fair.
Like I'm only high
Not
on
be high
Kyle
on them
Lowry, and honestly, I wouldn't even say I'm that high. I'm like pretty much
just
on
because he's
par with
old.
everybody else, maybe a little bit less. I still see him as a great player, but I'm a little bit less than everybody else, I think.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right, well,
the
I
Heat are
guess
going to
that's
the
it.
finals. Probably not, Chad. Probably not. But I like the enthusiasm.
I think so. I still
All
think they have a
right.
chance.
All right. We'll see. I guess no one
If
expected them to go last year.
I definitely
Um.
think they have a chance.
Well, thank you everybody for hopping into the live stream. Um. Check out our other videos. Probably gonna do another live stream for the NFL draft when that happens. If you like content like this where we talk about basketball and football, you should like and subscribe.
True. Definitely. Subscribe. Check
Check
out
us
the
out.
Insta.
Check us out on Instagram. We post on occasion. Let you know when videos go up. We'll put in the description. It's at the_off_hand. So definitely check us out there. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Bye.
All right. Bye.